Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from PercysGrowRoom.com. I am Mackie from the UK, and joining us this week, we have Monkey Doo.
Hey everybody, Monkey down here in the Southeast US, enjoying a pretty not too bad Sunday afternoon. Hot as hell down here though. Hope everybody's got something nice to smoke on. Gonna have a great show.
We also have Marge.
Hello, everyone. This is Marge coming at you from Central Ontario in Canada and host of your favorite other favorite podcast, Bite Me the Show about edibles. And yeah, here we are.
We also have Billy, the Three Socks Bonds.
Yay, hi from Cornwall. It's not too bad here today, a little grey, but not cold as normal, so that's always cool.
Nice. There's your professional intro, everybody. Can we relax now? Can we chill now?
Pretty smooth.
Smooth. Yeah, practice. Cannabis News episode 118. So it hasn't taken us long. We're getting there. It's happening more often.
Okay, by 500 we'll have it down by 500.
As I pointed out in chat earlier, I like your use of ChatGPT 420 for the wicked like I forgot now. What's it? The titling.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah. I know you. I know you's complaining before, like that you couldn't get enough words in it because you was limited with characters. But like weekly cannabis news podcast, episode number 118. You can't get much more flat than that, really, can you?
Man, I try so hard every week on the titles, and you know what difference it makes? Zero.
No, we notice it, man. We don't say anything, but we know.
Yeah, where's the free seeds, man? Everyone notices it.
But you know, I don't want to do like clickbait and shit as well. You know.
Oh, you do. Come on.
This type of cannabis can kill you. Find out which one.
You know? Yeah, you should do. You should start doing clickbaity titles each week. Just as much stupid clickbait as you can think of.
Oh no, it's terrible. Yeah, I just ask ChatGPT to do it
title of the week. Yeah, ask them to do it for
Make me a nice clickbaity title out of this. But ChatGPT is so bad at that shit as well. Oh man, it's just it's terrible.
Pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah,
ChatGPT is great, but definitely not for everything.
That's right, and it's like I think at this stage everybody knows what they're getting, right?
Yeah,
you all know what it's like here.
World War III.
Oh, you see, you need to write some titles, Billy. That's nice. That people be like, oh, I have to click that and find out how. You got to add a little bit more, like cannabis can end World War III in 3 simple steps.
Yeah, there you go. We've got next week's title. There you go.
I'm saying, yeah, keep an eye out for next week's title.
Next week, do something like the 10 best ways to use cannabis to stop World War III, and just continue on with that theme. And then
yeah.
I think we should. 420 ways to stop World War III with cannabis.
That's funny. I love it. Great numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Welcome everybody to the show. We got some news to cover because that's what we're doing today. We're talking about the news. That's what we do. But
what we're smoking on though.
We'll cover that after we quickly run through these news stories, man. We have a legal cannabis by post inside the farm behind Britain's first, and this is where they're sending cannabis around the country legally because they paid the necessary fee to the necessary people. You know how it goes. And then a cannabis grower told to pay back left assets. But this guy made a shitload of money growing cannabis illegally in the UK because he didn't pay the necessary fee to the necessary person. He was arrested and stuff. We'll check that out in a little bit. I'd say some changes going on in Canada with rules. The Fed proposed a raft of changes to cannabis rules. And also people in Germany allowed to smoke cannabis before driving. Yes, that's going to be an interesting one. Mm-hmm.
You gotta have your bud with your beer. I mean, come on.
Yeah. What I want to know is, can you do it whilst driving?
But that's a good question. You can drink the beer while you're driving. You can only have one.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then some update here about the hemp ban, the hemp bill. They're trying to make some changes to that, as we've mentioned the last couple of weeks. We have DeSantis vetoes hemp ban bill amid anti-cannabis legislation push. I don't think DeSantis likes weed very much.
Right.
No, I don't think he does.
Mm,
Well, it'll show a duality in this article, and that's why I picked it. So we'll take a look in a bit.
sweet. Cherokee vote passes. NC first recreational cannabis market likely in 60 to 75 days. What does
Mhm.
that mean, Monkey? What's NC?
North
Carolina. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which is completely illegal at this point, and so you've got the Cherokee Nation, the Koala Boundary, who's taking measures into their own hands, and we'll take a look at that.
Nice. Cool. Then we have some from Billy. We have UK Cannabis Industry Council publishes Cannabis Manifesto for Change. That's going to be cool. We'll see what's on that manifesto and see what changes they are suggesting and how to get there. And then the last one there, which won't be the last one, this will be all out in a random order, but cannabis dealer labeled an idiot, but he wasn't the only subject of judge's anger. So yeah, that's what we've got for you today. Now what we smoking on? Yeah. Man, I think I got some forgotten strawberries. I got some weed in the jar. It's been there for a while. And like a while as well. And I think it might be forgotten strawberries or forbidden strawberries. Yeah, forgotten strawberries. That's the right one. So I cracked
Well,
open
you
one of
forgot about
those.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
you
There's
forgot
something
about
about this week. They just knew. They just knew.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What you got, Monkey? You got something nice?
I've got hash in the Dr. Dabber switch tonight. So
Ooh.
nice 3 gram block here that I will not go through all 3 grams during the show for sure.
Try.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like, where's Monkey?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We haven't heard from him in a
What's
while.
up? And who's that laughing in the background, you know?
What is that maniacal laugh? Shit. Yes, and well, you got Marjo. You got edibles today. You got smoking. What you got? What you have today?
I do. I actually have a little bit of limelight in a vape, and then I have a Cosmic Cowboy cherry and vanilla beverage.
Ooh, I want that.
nice.
I want one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what's that beverage like? I mean, can you compare it to other drinks?
You could. I'm about to open it right now and find out.
No, do it. Do it, March. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
It's just
Peer
like
pressure.
always Coca-Cola.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, perfectly
Oh,
timed. Beautiful.
Yeah. You
So
could
what's it
clip
like?
that and earn some money there, mate. Advertising. Come on, that's 10 grand off of them.
It's kind of like a watery cola. Hmm.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure after that first sip that I'm too thrilled with it, but whatever, I'll drink it anyway.
Yeah, because it's got weed in it. But you know how
course.
you can tell when there's alcohol in, say, for example, the cola that you're drinking now, you'd be able to tell if there's a drop of whiskey in there, or rum or something. Can you tell? Is there like an aftertaste or something because of the THC in it?
Some of them, because some of them use distillate, and you can distillate has like a bitter taste to it,
Hmm.
and sometimes you can tell for sure.
Well, there you
This
go,
was a-
everybody. Just a random checkup on drinks there.
Yeah.
Drink
Yeah.
responsibly.
That's right, drink responsibly, Marge. Wouldn't it be funny if Marge is the one to fall asleep? She drinks this watered down cola and she's like,
Here's the mark for a while. What happened to her?
Sitting there dribbling like Homer Simpson. Like,
mm-mm.
Everybody's gonna be out this show, yeah.
Yeah, what you got, Billy? What are you smoking today?
I've got some critical, but I whacked a load of hash in it, so I don't vape it at the minute. So I'm just sticking it all in my blunts because I've not done it for a little while. So I'm hashing up my
Savage.
blunts. Yeah, hash
Damn.
o'clock. As
Sounds like
Schubert
everybody's gonna
likes to
get
say.
matched today.
Yeah.
Well, I've already taken one hit off this hash, and it's yeah, we're gonna get mashed today.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
man.
everybody join us. Get mashed with us while we go through the news and let's see if we can make it to the end. Yeah. So we do it then. I mean, are we ready to go already? That's the intro. Just
I guess
about
we
done.
are.
I think so.
We're all smoking
Yeah,
on good
probably.
shit. I think it's time. Did everybody hit that like button? If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. YouTube, talk, blah, blah, blah. Let's
Like
do the
button,
news.
yeah.
Yeah, like button,
fun.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Don't forget
Forum,
to subscribe
forum.
and all that
Mhm.
shit. Yeah. Press
Yeah.
the bell and stuff.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to the news. Where do we even begin?
At the
I thi-
start.
Yes, we'll start at the start. And I think that is with you, Marge.
Yes, that's
You're
right. We've got some exciting proposed changes, which means they're not actually in place yet, but if we're ready for it, the feds propose a raft of changes to cannabis rules to reduce regulatory burden. So I believe it's Health Canada actually that is looking at making some proposed changes, which will mean about $41 million in annualized net benefits in terms of administrative and compliance cost savings.
yeah.
Health Canada recognizes that there may be regulatory measures that could be made more efficient and streamlined without compromising public health and safety. Proposed packaging changes include allowing lids and containers of cannabis products to be different colors, permitting cutout windows or transparent packaging so that consumers can see the product before buying, or allowing QR codes so buyers are able to find more information. Producers would also be able to package multiple products together as long as the package is still under the 30-gram limit, and products inside also meet packaging requirements. Which is basically a roundabout way of saying the change would mean producers could sell higher quantities of edibles in one outer package. So they're talking
That's
about
that's
getting rid of
celebration
this,
right there. Come
yes,
on
the
now.
10 milligram package limits, which is about time because that has been ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Images or information on the packaging would still generally not be allowed, but the rules would be eased to permit adding something specific if other statutes require it, such as a recycling icon. I don't know why anybody gives a shit about that, but the easing of rules would also mean producers no longer have to provide copies of information sheets to retailers, which when I worked in the dispensary, they used to have like these pieces of paper out for the customers if they wanted one, talking about the risks of consuming cannabis, which nobody
Oh
ever
my
did
God.
that. Like it was just like like nobody ever. I think I saw one person take one once. It was just dumb. But
Because he needed a roach card.
yeah, probably didn't have money to buy papers, but
Something to throw his gum out with is what it was. Yeah.
yeah. They wouldn't, what else was it saying? Producers would no longer have to submit notice to government on every new dried or fresh cannabis product they want to sell, and the sale and distribution of cannabis pollen would be allowed.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Mhm. Producers also wouldn't need to report annually on promotional efforts and no longer need to report on cultivation waste. The changes come as the cannabis industry has faced numerous headwinds, bankruptcies, and market consolidation following legalization. There was actually a lot more to it because I read through some of the actual proposed changes from the Health Canada. I think one of them too was allowing micro cultivators a larger area in which they could grow so they could be more competitive. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they're proposing to change to at the licensed producer level, but the most exciting changes, I think, are the potential changes to edible limits and also even just having like clear packaging or like see-through
Yeah,
packaging so
yeah.
you can actually see the weed first because yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's like they
That's
started off
definitely-
with all those ridiculous rules, and now they're starting to see they were ridiculous, and they're getting more and more lenient. And in about 50 years, weed might be
Yeah.
treated like a normal product. You know?
right.
But it's
Yeah.
progress. It's slow
It is.
progress, and it's small changes, but they're changes all the same. You know, so it's a good
Yeah.
thing, man.
Yeah, so I don't know when these might take place, but because they're not in effect yet, but the proposed changes are being made by Health Canada to whatever governing bodies, I guess. So I can't see how they wouldn't actually implement them, but I guess
So you
time
think
will
it's
tell.
likely that they will make these changes then?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I think it's open for public consultation. Like you can go to a website and put in your 2 cents if you want, and they'll take it all under advisement and then probably take 6 months to do this shit. But yeah, it'll get there hopefully.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
That's really positive stuff, as it actually changing the limits and things, and the packaging,
ridiculous,
the
the
amount.
packaging. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
The laws they have on packaging. It's ridiculous, man.
Are they going to
Yeah.
change the logo stuff as well, so you can like put bigger logos of like your
Yeah, I think they
branded
have
logo
stuff
and
like
that?
that too. It was saying as well that some of the information that they have to make available on the packages aren't really all that useful for the consumer. So they were talking about changes to that as well and being able to put on different information. But yeah.
Oh, positive steps then.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
For a
Step in
change.
the right direction. Very nice. Very nice. Canada's leading the way again. They were starting to lag behind a little bit there, behind the USA, but no, they're taking a step forward again. Yeah. So what do we have from the USA there, Monkey? You got this story about DeSantis?
Yeah, now I picked this story for a specific reason. The title may actually take a look at it. It says DeSantis vetoes hemp ban bill amid anti-marijuana legalization push, fueling speculations over double standards in opposition campaign. So basically, they're telling you that he vetoed a bill that would take hemp cannabinoids out of the state of Florida. So he's leaving those in, but he wants to kill cannabis legalization. So let's take a look at why. You have no idea. As the governor of Florida campaigns against cannabis legalization ballot initiative, he has, in a seemingly contradictory move, vetoed a bill to ban the sale of intoxicating hemp-derived cannabinoids in the state. This comes amid recent reporting that Governor Ron DeSantis planned to block the hemp prohibition legislation in hopes that the industry would return the favor by financially assisting his efforts to defeat the cannabis measure
Boo.
that voters will decide this November.
Boo.
when you
What
read
the
that right there,
fuck?
Exactly. So you got to do this story when you see that, going like, okay,
Oh
this is.
my gosh.
I'll let you have your weed if you help me fight that weed. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
DeSantis didn't specifically mention the cannabis legalization initiative in his veto message, but he said generally that while Senate Bill 1698's goals are commendable, the bill would in fact impose debilitating regulatory burdens on small businesses and almost certainly fail to achieve its purposes. This Senate bill would also introduce dramatic disruptions and harm to many small retail and manufacturing businesses in Florida, businesses that have emerged due to recent legalization paving the way for commercial use of hemp, the governor wrote. Now, I'm confused there because wouldn't cannabis legalization also foster so much more business as well? So again, I'm just too confused by this article. I encourage the Florida legislature, this is again a quote, I encourage the Florida legislature to reconsider this topic in the next legislative session and engage with all relevant stakeholders to create a comprehensive regulatory framework for the manufacture and sale of hemp and hemp-derived products. Sensible, non-arbitrary regulations will provide businesses and consumers alike with much-needed stability regarding public health and safety, allowing legitimate industry to flourish and removing bad actors from the market. Sounds like
removing bad actors. Fuck off.
Exactly, man.
What does it mean
They
by
are
bad
the bad
actors?
actors. They are the bad actors, man, making the laws.
I agree. In this case, the bad actors are people who are taking the money away from the big players that he wants to have money.
Not like Kevin Spacey kind of bad actors, you know.
Well, maybe that too. Who knows?
Well, Kevin Spacey is a good actor, probably one of the best. So you know what I mean when I'm saying bad actors. Right? Wink, wink.
Right.
Sorry.
Nudge, nudge.
No
Nudge, nudge. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, while DeSantis vetoed this measure, he outlined a series of considerations for legislatures to consider for future work on the issue. For example, he said the legislature should, quote, set standards for cultivation, processing, and handling of hemp products to ensure the purity, potency, and safety of hemp and hemp-derived products. The governor said on the bill at hand, it missed the mark. Now, wait a minute, he wants an industry that sets standards for cultivation and processing and handling of the product, testing purity, potency, and safety. Does this sound like anything that you guys might think of? Any other industry out there that has these things in place that might actually work?
No, mate. Mine's blank.
Yet he's against legalization of cannabis, which would do all of this, 100%, every last bit of it. So anyway, so the legislature should develop guidelines for accurate labeling, including cannabinoid content, sourcing information, health claims, and dosing instructions. His veto message says packaging should by default be child resistant, and any and all advertising that makes these products attractive to minors should be prohibited.
Like those child resistant beer cans that we have.
But
those child resistant vodka bottles. Sorry, Monkey.
But I'm laughing. It made me outraged a little bit because he's naming everything that the legal cannabis industry has to do with their product. Yet he's trying to get rid of a legal cannabis program and allow a hemp program to continue. He wants to operate a hemp program under the same guidelines that a cannabis program operates under. It just boggles my mind, man. I don't understand this guy. See, additionally, DeSantis and lawmakers should, quote, it should ensure that hemp-derived cannabinoids are sold behind the counter and that hemp retail shops operate outside of sufficient proximities to school, religious institutions, and other areas where children and families regularly gather. Again, dispensary. These, continue the quote, these shops should not present themselves as medical offices, and the legislature should consider measures to prevent the concentration of these retail locations in communities across the state, he said. Again, what's the word? Dispensaries. In effect, DeSantis is making the argument for enhanced regulation of the intoxicating hemp-based cannabinoids market at the same time he's urging voters to reject a ballot measure to enact similar regulations for a recreational cannabis market. But he's allowing the hemp industry to persist in the interim without those desired regulations. This veto message was released one day after the Fox News poll found that 2 in 3 Florida voters, including a majority of Republicans, support the legalization initiative, making it more popular among voters than the governor who is actively opposing it. The measure is more popular than DeSantis. That's crazy.
It's not really crazy. He's not that popular.
No, it's not that crazy. Yeah.
Well, you got a guy with a lower approval rate than his bill, trying to tell people not to vote for the bill. It's just, oh man, I don't know. I love it. The survey found that 66% of voters backed the cannabis initiative, more than enough to meet the 60% threshold to pass the constitutional amendment under state laws. By contrast, 52% of voters said that they are either strongly or somewhat approve the job DeSantis is doing as governor. That's a 14% gap between the two. This data point calls into question the political wisdom of DeSantis's crusade against cannabis. The governor has argued that the state shouldn't go beyond the existing medical cannabis program and that the broader reform would negatively impact the quality of life to Floridians. I don't know about that, man. You want me to start a rant right there?
Do it. Do it.
No, cannabis does not. Cannabis legalization anywhere has not lowered the quality of life of the residents. It's generally
improved
it. Well, you get more tax dollars to spend, and that's for sure. And you also sort of kind of lower, I'm not going to say limit it, you lower the black market because some people are going to buy from the legal markets. And you also, I mean, it's safer as well. It's just so many good things you can say about it. But I've never been anywhere where cannabis is legal that has a lower quality of life than someplace that doesn't have it legal.
I need to jump in there quickly as well, Monkey.
Please do.
It's Florida as well. The amount of old people, that's where everyone goes to retire, basically, isn't it? Right, really? And
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
like Cornwall. So the amount of old people that would be using cannabis like medically, but also like the amount of tax revenue that would create just by releasing the recreational market as well, because people might not always go through their doctors and stuff. So it's like the amount of scope for money there is crazy. Do you think he's been like advised by like, it can't be pharmaceutical companies because obviously he is against the COVID stuff, so they're going to not like him for that.
Mate, he's just been running for president. He's owned now. He's owned.
It's like, who owns him for that stupid
Yes.
decision? Is it the oil companies? It's like,
he owes money. How much money do you think they spent on his advertisement and stuff? How much did he need for that campaign? A lot of money, man.
So
yeah, they own
crazy,
him now.
isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
just-
Maybe
yeah.
that's what I would assume, being a politician as they are.
If they should work out how much like you'd get if every like old person in Florida, like over 60, say, spent X $100 on some cannabis per year, how much tax revenue would that bring in? So I assume that'd be a bloody large chunk of money just on that.
Sure would. They're pretty
see.
interested in weed.
The numbers down here in the article somewhere, I'm searching for it. It's something like they expected anywhere from $195 million to $430 million a year in tax revenue to come in from this if they would legalize cannabis. It depends upon populations in use, and that's why the numbers are such a wide strain here. But a minimum, they're looking at maybe $195 million a year in tax revenue coming in.
Yeah, and that
You can
doesn't
do a
count
hell
the
of a
money
lot.
saved. You know,
That's
It's
a
a
whole
rich
lot of money.
state as well. Like a lot of people in Florida have good money. Like it's more of a middle upper class state, even though there's a lot of poverty as well. But generally, it's one of the richest states, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's going to generate on the higher end because of that reason. Just obvious more old people who've got more disposable income to spend. And once they
Well-
see it works, then it's how it's worked in other places. It's just standard.
I would say that legalizing cannabis would definitely not hurt Florida, in my opinion. I mean, you want to go to the beach? We could make the beach better, but the beach with some weed, you know? It's a natural for a state that is so engrossed into tourism. Cannabis does bring money into the local economy that way. So I
Especially
don't
beaches
understand.
as well. Cannabis and beaches works well, better than
Yeah.
alcohol on beaches, sort of thing.
but
Safer that
anything
way.
in beaches works well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
But
about
like it's
that, but
that,
yeah.
but sitting on the beach and having a joint, like and smoke. Well, you could smoke all day pretty much and walk up and down the beach and be fun. But if you drink all day, that and in the sun, that's fatal. Right, if you know what I mean.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it'll get you. It'll
Yeah.
get you. I remember those days back in the day, Billy. Yeah, yeah, man.
So it's
Yeah, it's not a good
it's
combination.
Mhm.
it'd be interesting to see if Florida just because of it is a sunshine sort of beach area.
They're
Lots
going
of
to eventually.
boats
It's
as well.
inevitable, and DeSantis he's going to lose votes because of his stance on this. That's the way
It
it's
could
going to
be.
be. Yeah.
He's gonna get outed, I think, because other people have made the stances that he did on COVID and all the other issue, trans stuff, which he's been strong against, which he's got approval ratings for, I suppose. But everything else, I can't think of anything else he's actually done and said that's really of prominence that would make people want to carry on. Other people would make them two stances and say, well, I'll legalise cannabis and bring more tax revenue and do other cool shit because DeSantis
Yeah.
needs special boots, doesn't he, just to walk along stages and things. So,
Yeah. We heard about those. Well, I mean, he's doing these things to try and get the big cannabis growers on his side so he can get money from them. But let's take a look at this. This is Kim Rivers, the chief executive of the multi-state cannabis operator TruLeaf, that's financially supporting the Smart and Safe Florida campaign, said recently that she remains confident DeSantis will respect the will of the people and implement the legalization initiative if the voters approve the ballot. Now, TruLeaf is bankrolling the Make It Legal campaign, and DeSantis is expecting these growers to give him money to go against the campaign. I don't think that this man is actually paying attention. You know,
no, it's what I'm saying. They're poor advisors, these people. That's what's
Mhm.
destroyed the Republicans far more than the Democrats have always had bad advisors. But now these are just how can you not go with what's just been voted on? It's really simple.
Mhm. Well, it's like DeSantis also previously predicted voters will reject the cannabis initiative in November and argued that the passage would reduce the quality of life in state. Economic analysis. This is the information you were asking about, Billy. It said they estimate that cannabis legalization initiative would generate between 195.6 million and 431.3 million in new sales tax revenues. New, not replacement. You know, it's not like you're going to stop buying beer and buy cannabis. You're going to buy the cannabis from these people, and so the state's going to end up with anywhere from 200 to 450 million extra in their budget to spend. I can't see a downside to that, really, especially since you obviously don't mind the hemp-derived cannabinoids on the street. So what's the difference here? I don't understand it. I wish he would come out and explain that to me, because I don't understand.
He probably wouldn't be able to. I think it's just lack of education on his part. He just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You probably
Good
don't even
point.
know that they're related. You know,
Good point.
Right. That
just
could
doesn't
very
know.
well be true. Like, who
Because
do
I
they
know-
people? How do people? Where do they get their advisors from on this stuff? Right.
Yep.
I mean, if he would have done his research, he would have found out that these companies were bankrolling to legalize, and he would have definitely wouldn't have made these stupid statements like that. Because I do know in Louisiana, they tried to ban the hemp-derived stuff in Louisiana. That governor was against keeping it legal. He did not want it legal. So at least there, the Republicans were saying, don't make it legal. And also the Republican governor there also doesn't want cannabis recreationally legal. So he's at least consistent, while DeSantis is kind of duplicitous here. You know, he's kind of like, well, we're going to let them do this, but I don't want them to do this. And I don't get that. This is a typical uninformed viewpoint, like Mackie was saying. So something's got to happen here, guys. It's crazy. But so if Florida does legalize, the initiative would allow adults 21 years and older, they could purchase and possess up to 3 ounces of cannabis for personal use. The cap of concentrates would be 5 grams. So technically you could have 5 grams of concentrate and 23 grams of, or not 23 grams, but 5 grams less than 3 ounces of flower. You'd be good. Medical cannabis dispensaries could acquire, cultivate, process, manufacture, sell, and distribute products and cannabis accessories to adults for personal use. The legislature would be authorized but not required to approve additional entities that are allowed to currently licensed for cannabis dispensaries and growing. The initiative specifies that nothing in the proposal prevents the legislature from enacting laws that are consistent with this amendment. The amendment also further clarifies that nothing about the proposal changes the federal law. Basically, they're saying this is state law only. They're not going to monkey with the federal law. And there are no provisions for home cultivation within legalization in Florida. So I don't understand. None of these things would hurt retail sales of cannabis in Florida. So DeSantis coming through and saying, no, don't want to do this. It's just duplicitous in my opinion, and it's wrong.
Yeah, man. Things will change eventually, I think. He's not going to be in office for much longer. I mean, how long has he been in office now? He's been for a while. He's been the governor of Florida, right?
I don't know what Florida Constitution says. You know, how many terms can he serve? Most states it's 2 terms, and this is his second term. So you would think, but there are some states that can serve more than 2 terms.
When's his terms end?
November is when they do the elections, around when they do everything else, you know.
So it is at the same time then, yeah.
I think he's got another 2 years, and then he's up for re-election.
Right.
Oh well.
Well,
Yep.
let's see what happens. People will vote him out, man. I don't think it's what people want anymore.
I would put money on it that Florida's going to get legalization here.
Yeah, all states will eventually. It's the way it's going to happen. They just they will see the other states making money. Sorry, March, you want to say something?
No, I'm just totally agreeing with you. You're totally right. It's just a matter of time before eventually all the states are legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just see the money the other states are making and are like, well, we like to have nice schools.
Yeah, you always end up having the 1 or 2 holdouts that are on the principle that they won't have it no matter what kind of thing like that, but there will be in the minority. And when the state starts seeing literally hundreds of millions of dollars of tax dollars going out of their state to somebody else, then they'll legalize it and keep the money there.
It's the investment as well when you see like companies setting up like $100 million facilities in the state next door because they can't be in yours. You'd be like, ooh, they said they'd be here, like. So yeah, it's that sort of pressure when someone comes along and says, "Yeah, I want to set up 5 like $100 million sites across Florida."
Yeah,
when they start seeing that it's a benefit, they'll all move to. It's inevitable.
I remember back in the day when state lotteries became legal in the U.S. Certain states jumped on the bandwagon real quick, and then slowly but surely other states, it was almost like a catching fire kind of thing, like slowly other ones would build on. But exactly what you're saying about people leaving the state and going to other places and other states legalized, they'll jump on. That's exactly what happened in all the states in the South, is that as one would come on board and the state would see all these people going across the border to buy lottery tickets, that the next state would say, oh, we can't have this, we're losing too much money, they would legalize. So it just slowly but surely, and it took a few years, but slowly but surely it started falling like dominoes until now every state's got a legal lottery of some kind or another.
You'd create a lot of jobs as well. The job creation in the cannabis market is humongous.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
It is, and it's not a bad industry to be in. I mean, there's so many regulations, things like that, but like we said it so many times, it's so much better for you than tobacco or cigarette or alcohol.
Well, like the alcohol industry is the one we compare it to, isn't it? So like the distilleries to the pubs, and like it's the growers to the dispensaries. If we had them on par, that's a lot of money. How much alcohol makes. So that's
Mhm.
what you're getting straight away. That sort of type of revenue,
Mm.
instant, overnight,
Yeah.
blam.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Anyway, we
Good
should move
stuff.
on to this next story here because we went long on that one. We have
Yeah.
some news coming from the UK, which is Billy's one. UK Cannabis Industry Council publishes Cannabis Manifesto. What's going on with this one, Billy?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's obviously election time coming up now in the UK and all that complete madness.
Woo! Woo!
Woo! Yeah. So the UK Cannabis Industry Council, the CIC, have published their own manifesto for change. So a manifesto
Change.
change, yeah, exactly, yeah. A manifesto for change in the, in the cannabis space has been published by the CIC, the voice of the UK sector. The manifesto contains a number of policy proposals for the government which will improve patient access to medicines, increase of foreign direct investment to the industry, and a boost of revenues for farmers. The specific manifesto policies are as follows: a clear pathway for patients to access private prescriptions for unlicensed CBPMs, which is cannabis-based products of medical products, basically, and from the NHS. So what that mean is that a company, mostly pharma mafia, will be able to give their unlicensed products on the NHS, so be able to sort of for testing and all that as well. So
Mm.
it just clear a lot of the bullshit away, basically, so people can just access it instantly as such. So that'd be a really good one if they can do that. So the NHS and insurers to increase reimbursement of private prescriptions of cannabis medicines for certain indications. Again, which would be a good thing, but also it's the reimbursement word I don't like because you have to have the money first of all to pay for the prescription to then get the reimbursement, but then
Well, does that
charities
not
would
mean
then
that
get
it's possible?
reimbursed. So
Do you think that it's possible that these, like the medical cannabis mom, say Joanne Griffiths, for example, imagine if she could get refunded all of the money she's had to pay for that medicine, which should have been on the NHS the whole time. Do you think that's what
yeah,
they mean by
all the
reimbursement?
yeah, all the I think the backdating should be done, obviously, but yeah, but the reimbursement means similar to what what they're doing in Ireland, isn't it? You have to pay out for it first, and then
Right.
you write
Yeah.
off to them, say, "Here's my invoice. Now send me some money back." Blah blah blah.
Yeah. It's not.
And
It's not
but
the way to be
again,
done, is it? No, it's not
you
cool.
have to have the money first. Or if you don't have no money, you're not getting no freaking medication. So the people normally who don't have no money because you're too ill to work. So it's the catch-22 there. But again, there'd be charities that would then pay for it on your behalf, and then the charity to get reimbursed back to then pay for it again. So it'd be like it'd work, but charities have to be again would have to be siphon off some CEO money there as they'd like doing. But yeah, next proposal is a home office to enable the electronic prescribing of cannabis medicines, both from legal and technical NHS digital standpoint. I'm not sure what they mean by that, the electronic prescribing, but I assume that means just by having some sort of click and card
Maybe.
sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Maybe
You know
like
what
a
I mean?
repeat subscription kind of thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's basically what they do now. It's just like you go straight into your pharmacy or get it straight direct. It's like strange, right? I think they have to explain that one a bit more. Right?
I think I think they do some of that in the States, down in the South, is where you actually have a Zoom appointment with a doctor, sit in front of a monitor and tell them why you need cannabis, and they can authorize you electronically without having to go to their office and speak to them directly.
Yeah, yeah. But you get that anyway because all the stuff's done with doctors over Zooms and anyway
Yeah,
now. So it's
pretty much, yeah.
yeah. But I think that's just to make it more of an industry standard, so it's allowed across the board. I think rather than having to then maybe do it only private doctors are allowed to do that possibly.
Mm.
So maybe to introduce that to the NHS. So the Proceeds of Crime Act revised to enable legitimate foreign investment into the cannabis industry. So obviously, like anyone, sort of like you can't invest if you're going to get done with the proceeds of crime because you can't process the money sometimes in the UK.
They got a bunch of
Yes.
Albanians who want to jump in the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they're already in the market, but yeah, that's sort of why it's sort of stop that sort of type of stuff going on, really. So it's legitimate foreign investment rather than Albanian foreign investment as such, because it used to be in Thailand basically when it was investing here for years, and now it's Albania who are investing here, where they want more sort of the American and Canadian market to be able to invest here, which is what they're saying there, really. So also the Home Office to allow the extraction of CBD flower with the industrial hemp license, because you can't extract CBD from flower over here because we have to import it all pretty much, which costs a lot of money, and
Yeah, it's
which is
mental, man.
stupid. Yeah, which is completely like mind blowing. Again, you need to bang your head off a brick wall, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Mhm.
And the government to establish a new body which brings together the various regulatory responsibilities for cannabis, because there isn't really one, and they haven't got a clue what they're doing, and everyone's trying to sort of lobby them to be the one sort of thing. So it's like we do need a lot more clear cut shit, really. So the cannabis in the quotes here from Dr. Kelly Seaman. The cannabis industry has potential to make substantial contributions to health, the environment, and the economy, which is basically true, 100%. And probably nothing out there probably could make more of an impact to all three of them things, basically. And especially everyone's going on about the environment, economy at the moment a lot. Then I think, like, why is it not? So, and also she said, however, the industry is currently being stifled by unnecessary bureaucracy, unclear patent pathways to affordable access, patient pathways to affordable access, and arbitrary restrictions on capital investment. So again, she understands that patients ain't got the right pathways. We can't have affordable access, and the investment just isn't happening because we haven't got none of this. You know what I mean? Well, how can I invest in something when it's a limited market? The market can't grow because of all the restrictions, blah blah blah. Which is true. Even normal people can't invest, let alone like all the big people. You need a lot of money to be able to invest. So even the people with a couple of million can't do nothing at the minute. Let alone the people with like no money.
That's it, man. And
It's
that's
just
like one of
crazy.
the stories we'll cover later on as well. It's like, you know, if you've got the money, you still can't get involved unless you got the government friend who can get you in. You know, it's about who you know what and not what you know and all that shit, innit? So even
Yeah.
with the money, you still need the contacts, man. It's so fucking corrupt.
Yeah, she also went on to say, like, the Cannabis Industry Council are pressing politicians and policymakers to make their uncontroversial yet transformative changes to help deliver for patients and doctors, which it is. They're uncontroversial. I can't say that. I'm starting to see the hash has kicked in there.
Uncontroversial.
There you go. Thank you, Mackie. Yep. The hash works. See, make your own hash. See, additionally, the government recently announced positive changes to hemp licensing practices, including increasing the permissible THC levels. And really, it's not enough, is it? Basically, and we need to do more. So, and even more like this, the co-chair Jamie goes on as well, so saying increased THC minute would be crucial vote for the confidence in the farming sector. We've hit by reduced subsidies, the increasing competition from countries with lower standards, which is, well, again, if they could do the THC limit and then be able to press hemp CBD from flower, it'd just rejuvenate the farming and hemp industry in the UK by so much. Just little changes to what's already been allowed is, it's just doesn't make like, well, it does make sense, but it's like, makes no sense why they're not doing it. It's like, what? Again, what are their advisors telling them when they don't have any? Again, like they mentioned earlier, there is no regulatory responsibilities from the government at the minute, so it's sort of
God damn,
bucking
man.
out.
Yeah, should we just make our own political party like here in the UK? We'll make our own political party like Martin did over in Ireland. You know, he's running as an independent. What if there was enough people here in the UK who listen to his podcast who were like, I could run for office. I could take the local election and be in favor of cannabis, Think we could do it? Think there's enough people that listen to the show who are willing to do something like that to get stuck in?
There was
Can
one
we
in the
take
UK.
over the world? You know? Sorry,
It was
Blue.
called. There was one in the UK called Sister. Cannabis is safer than alcohol.
All
It
right.
got quite a few candidates and some votes, but
Yeah, there's
again,
always just a problem with fucking a
it's-
single policy party, you know?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's single policy. It's like, but what it is, I think it's more you need. At that time, people should just run as an independent and pay crowdfund to pay like the fees because you maybe not get enough money back to get enough votes to get reimbursed your fee of what 500 quid or something. But then you're allowed to canvass and knock on people's doors and then at least talk to them. So you like Michelson, he educated a lot of people out there, sort of. So and that's really what it's about. They might not vote for him, but he's educated a lot of people and changed a lot of minds for the future, for next time. And for next time, and then, but it's just more getting the education across, which is what the WTU really was about more, and see that future. Now, really, is about getting just the information to people is the most important thing, and that's difficult. Door to door is the best way if you can print leaflets, and that's why canvassing and.
But I'm good at
parties
making
is the best
leaflets.
good way.
You know? I'm good at making leaflets. I should make my own political leaflets and go around knocking on doors and be like, hello. I'm Mackie and I
think-
like cannabis. Do you like cannabis?
There's nothing stopping you really doing that either. Unless people
there
have
really
something
isn't.
on their doors saying, I don't accept people knocking on my door, go away, you
Mhm, mhm.
tramp, sort of thing.
Man, don't tempt
Most
me.
people are
Don't
pretty
tempt
nice
me.
though. This is like a small fun fact, but I ran for municipal office back in 2006.
Cool.
I did a lot of door knocking and stuff, and people really appreciated talking to you at the door, but I still lost. So that was the end of my political aspirations.
No, that was the beginning, Marge. Go again.
Oh, yeah.
Go again. It's time to do it
Yeah.
again, Marge.
I don't know. I've become a little disillusioned with the political system.
That's even more reason to go and run again.
I think I have too many skeletons in my closet, though. So
No, it can't be as bad as some of the politicians we've seen running. You know what I'm saying?
well, probably
We
not,
won't
but-
mention any names.
Just on a side note from that, Mr. Martin Condon's voting was completed on Friday.
Mhm,
Oh, so
mhm.
is it official? He's like an official candidate now?
No, he got finishing 7th place out of 8th with a total of 265 votes. So
It's a good
Oh,
step in the right
that's
direction,
a
man.
good step in the right direction,
That's
I
it.
think. Like, congratulations. He wasn't last, and 265 for a first time round is pretty good going, really. Like, really good. In
Yes.
fact, so yeah, congratulations.
He's going to
Mr.
do even better next time.
Condon there. Yeah, yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. You know, the
So-
elections are just about to land here in the UK. Once that is out the way, if anybody has considered getting into politics in any way before, once that election's out the way and it's all starting fresh, this is the time, man. Start prepping, put your manifesto together, and get on that shit, man. Yeah. Anyway,
Do your research.
do you get involved in politics? Because we're sick of these crooks who run this country and all of our countries, not just the UK. You know, the crooks everywhere. But anyway, that's not the show we're supposed to be doing today. We have we got this one from the UK here, which I don't know, it frustrated me a little bit to read this shit. So, legal cannabis by post inside the first behind a Britain's sorry, fucking I can't read. I'm gonna go again. Legal cannabis by post inside the farm behind a British first. After years of relying on opioids to manage her pain from endometriosis, Chloe Dorrington has received a prescription for cannabis grown in the UK. So the stuff that's being prescribed to people now, I don't know whether it's all the time, but that's being grown in the UK. This might go into more detail about it. He didn't know it, but the postman who knocked on Chloe Dorrington's door to hand over a special delivery was making history. You could have told him. You know, you could have let him know.
I know.
Ain't that wrong though? The postman knocked. Don't you always ring twice?
Right, yeah, nice, Billy. Okay.
Nah.
Inside the carefully wrapped box was roughly a month's supply of cannabis. It was not grown on a farm run by gangs, cultivated by victims of modern slavery, or bought on the dark web. It was grown legally in Wiltshire to a pharmaceutical standard by Glass Farms. and prescribed by the private clinic Relief to treat the debilitating pain that Dorrington experiences from endometriosis. So, well done to all of those companies there that have paid the necessary fee to the necessary person to make sure that they can do this legally. Oh, man, it's so fucked. I didn't even put that on screen for everybody to see, but yeah, there's the words if you want to read it there, everybody. After years of relying on prescribed opioids, she is delighted to have found a medication that eases her symptoms without causing unwanted side effects. Dorrington, 26, a content creator from Lancashire. Might mean she does OnlyFans. I'm not assuming that. It's just a joke, all right? Dorrington, 26, a content creator from Lancashire who raises awareness of endometriosis, is the first patient to be prescribed cannabis flower grown legally in the UK for commercial sale. Wow. So is all of the, Billy, you might know, is all of the cannabis from that's being used for medicine in the UK, that's all imported, is it?
Most of it, yeah. A lot of it's from, well, originally it was from Israel and stuff because they was the only ones doing it. But then it's come from Australia and Canada as well.
Right.
But South
Yeah,
Africa,
yeah.
Spain, I think a couple in Spain now. And there's like a site with a list. But yeah, it's quite a few countries now. But yeah, loads of import.
And this
But
says
yeah, there's
here as
only
well. Stamped with the Made in Britain quality mark. Damn, you mean the kite mark? Remember the kite mark? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
British
God.
kite mark.
Yeah, British quality, like it used to be back in the day.
Just on a side note as well, I've just brought up their website. There's jobs for a horticultural worker. I don't know what that would involve,
Ooh.
but yeah, there are jobs for
I
horticultural
reckon
worker
it's
in and
probably
around
shoveling
Wiltshire.
bullshit.
Yeah, probably. Oh, there is actually a job for a housekeeper, so you could shovel their bullshit, like if you
Damn.
wanted. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Anyway,
relocation allowances may be available for exceptional candidates. So if you're really good weed grower, they'll pay for you to move.
Nice. Right. The
So I'll
product is
apply.
the first cannabis-based medicine to have a fully domestic supply chain. I'm very, very excited for it to be a first, and this is a good thing. I know that it's shit because people get prosecuted all the time for possession of cannabis and all this, growing it and all that, but it's still a step in the right direction to have it grown in the UK and sent out to patients in the UK. That's pretty cool. It reduces the carbon footprint quite a bit, I would think. Data on medical cannabis productions are estimated, but as of 2021, 43% of illicit global cannabis was produced in the UK. What the fuck? You say 43%? We used to be the biggest exporter in the world. I don't think we are anymore. But the biggest exporter of medical cannabis in the world, who also claims that can't be used for medicine. It's like, what? You can't make this shit up. Anyway, yeah. So the UK produced amounting to 329 tons, according to the International Narcotics Control Board. That's a shitload of cannabis. So far, all that has been used to create cannabis-derived products such as tinctures and oils, most of which are exported, rather than the plant's flower being the product. So yeah, they're selling extracts more than flour, according to that. Britain has quietly become a world leader in cannabis-derived products, making up 50% of the world's total exports, followed by Canada and Finland. And that's what pisses me off, man. It's like it's fucking ridiculous. How are all these people in the UK able to make money from cannabis, but all of us down here who just grow a few fucking plants for personal use are not allowed to do that? It makes no fucking sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a clear double standard of what's going on.
We're the cronyism capital of the world, mate, aren't we? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Rules for me, not for thee.
All you got to do is pay your required, what do you call
but still,
tribute is a good word. Pay your required
contribute.
Tribute
Contribute.
Yeah, pay your required tribute to your politicians, and you can get a license. It's going to cost you though, but it's crazy.
Make a contribution to your
standard.
favorite politician foundation.
Election committee, whatever. Yeah, just as long as he has control of your money, you might get a license.
Oh, look at this bit here. Cambridge-based GW Pharmaceuticals, now owned by the American company Jazz Pharmaceuticals, led the way in creating licensed cannabis-derived medicines, but did not produce cannabis flower for medical use. Its main product was Sativex, a drug used to treat muscle stiffness and spasms in people with multiple sclerosis. So yeah, that was a huge medicine that was sold from here in the UK, the Sativex thing. Glass Farms, though... So let me put it on screen. Glass Farms, though, which runs the farm in the English countryside, are the first home office license holders to deliver Medicines Healthcare Regulation Authority regulated medical cannabis flower. So yeah, blah 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 blah. I mean, this article goes on. We're not going to continue to read it because it's just too fucking long. But yeah, but it's just the double standards are right there. You know, it's these motherfuckers are allowed to just grow the weed in the UK and send it to their friends now, and it's okay. But if you grow a few plants, it's not allowed. It's like, come on, man.
Show me the money first, and then you can grow.
It has to change at some point. Surely it has to fucking change, man. But when? And even still after this election, it's looking like Labour's going to win. So we're looking at 4 or 5 years before there's any changes there. Surely that can't be the case, man. It just things need to change.
And unless we get them court cases through with Guy, and then that's it. That's our only hope at the minute.
Damn.
Exactly.
So people just get to continue to take advantage of the fact that it's illegal in the UK, and if anybody tries competing with them, if you want to grow yourself a few plants to take, so you don't have to spend money on medical cannabis, taking money out of their pockets, then they're going to send the police round to your house to take all your stuff to make sure you can't do that. Does that sound fair? You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous, man. Not allowing us to produce our own fucking medicines like that. It's fuck these motherfuckers. God damn.
You know how dangerous the cannabis is, though. It's gonna, it'll rip itself out the ground and attack your country and kill everybody. I'm sure. At least that's what they appear to think it's gonna do.
That's it. And Laszlo said in the chat there, they don't need to change it. It's working fine for them. Exactly. Exactly.
Rules for thee, not for me.
They're doing pretty fucking sweet. They're making a shitload of money. Why open up the market to more competition? Why would you do that? If you had the ability to stop the market from opening up, wouldn't you do that? Right?
Well, that's what Florida's doing right now. So yeah, you're right in line.
Yeah. So much corruption, man. Doesn't it make you angry? Put in the comments there, everybody. Put in the comments. Yeah, it makes me angry. Yeah. I think YouTube likes them kind of comments. Well, let's move on to the next one anyway, because we have some fairly reasonably good news from Germany. Marge, you want to take this one away?
Yes,
I love this one. I love this one.
People in Germany allowed to smoke cannabis before driving. Opposition censure move, says report. Which is pretty interesting because I feel like everywhere else they're always just like, you better not smoke and drive. But
do not operate heavy machinery.
Yeah, exactly. People in Germany will be allowed to smoke cannabis before driving under a new law, the Times reported on Friday. The report said that motorists will not only be able to drive as fast as they like in certain places, but will be able to get behind the wheel legally after a few puffs on a joint.
That just sounds crazy the way they've worded that, you know?
I know, it really does.
It's like you just get on the fucking... What's that road
Germany,
called?
Man.
Yeah.
The Autobahn. Yeah, just
the Autobahn.
Puff, puff, pass while you're doing 200 miles an hour. Yeah.
New fucking Dr. Dre song, man. Bunning on the Bundestag or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, the government has partially legalized the consumption and cultivation of the drug as of April 1st, and now the Bundestag, which is the German government, federal government, backed an amendment to the law that allows road users to consume limited amounts of cannabis. The law has a set limit of 3.5 nanograms of THC, the active well, we already know that, per milliliter of blood. Those exceeding this limit while driving would pay a $450 fine and would also be banned for driving for a month. The law also bans drivers from drinking any alcohol if they've taken cannabis and imposes a higher fine of around $1,080 for road users caught having consumed both. So you got to pick your poison, essentially.
But if you're rich, it's okay, man.
You
If
can't
you're rich,
smoke
it's
your
okay.
weed
Huh?
and drive with your beer. Oh my God, it's
Exactly.
not
The
good.
Times reported, a report added that novice drivers, those aged under 21 or who've held their license for less than 2 years, are banned from consuming any cannabis at all. The opposition CDU called the government's measure a black day for transport safety in Germany. Ironic, considering you are legally allowed to consume a beer in your car while driving. But it also dismissed the government's argument that there should be equal treatment of alcohol and cannabis. How will you know that? That sounds so enlightened to me.
Oh wow, what did
And
somebody else think of that? Yeah.
there you go. That's basically it. So if you're in Germany, you can smoke a little weed before you drive, but you can't smoke a little weed and drink a little beer. You got to pick one or the other.
Pick your poison. Oh
Boo, boo. You know, boo.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out there and at least say that Germany at least understands that 1 or 2 puffs on a joint doesn't throw you into a point to where you're so impaired that you might not be able to operate a vehicle safely.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it, man. That's the most important thing. It's that impairment. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. You can drink a beer and you'll be fine. I mean, you shouldn't. You know, you shouldn't really drink,
Yeah, a
drive,
lot of
smoke,
the
drive,
beers in
whatever.
Germany, like the bottled beers and stuff, are pretty big. So
Mhm.
one beer is like, it's a lot of beer, but whatever. You can drink one and drive.
As an adult, you're entitled to make your own decisions, man. You know, so just make sure you make good ones. Don't drive
But it's
impaired.
surprisingly so rational, because they're also like, if you're a new driver, you probably shouldn't be consuming weed. I don't know if they have the same laws around alcohol as well. Like you shouldn't be drinking if you're under 21 or you're a newly licensed driver, but it's just surprisingly fair and rational.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
just go back to the article. What's the journalist got a mask on for in his picture?
Oh.
It's a bit odd.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. His name's a bit dodgy as well. Harsh
Yeah,
shit.
so I thought, yeah, I was going to say that. What's his first name?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Strange guy.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
odd.
So what do we have next? We have some stuff about the Cherokee votes. What's this one about, Monkey? What we got here?
This one came to us via Discord. Grow Dad dropped it up on the Discord server, so I took a look at it. It's kind of interesting. Now, you may or may not remember, and we had talked about it in the past, about some Native American tribes getting into the cannabis business. Well, this is going a little further with that now. So we have Cherokee vote passes. North Carolina's first recreational cannabis market likely in 60 to 75 days. So the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians Tribal Council has voted to amend the tribal code and allow the sale of recreational cannabis, opening the door for North Carolina's first recreational cannabis dispensary to open on the Qualla boundary by the end of the summer, despite the drug being illegal in the state.
Fuck the law. Fuck the law.
Well, there are loopholes within ordinances and structures within the United States, and these people have found a legal way to do this. So it's great. I love it.
Nice.
Like that in Canada and a lot of places too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on tribal land, tribal
Yep.
law is different than state law, or that's just it. They can do it totally different.
Yep.
So during the June 6th EBCI Tribal Council session, the Tribal Council approved Ordinance number 63, revising dispensaries from just allowing medical cannabis sales to allowing recreational cannabis sales. The ordinance was passed in an 8-2 vote. The cannabis market has been touted as a huge economic boon as the drug remains illegal in North Carolina. This is illegal across the board, guys. North Carolina state legislatures have not legalized the drug for medical or recreational purposes, despite some bills being proposed to do such. But President Biden recently moved to reclassify the drug from Schedule I drug to a Schedule III drug, meaning it could become federally legal to prescribe cannabis as medication. The ECBI land, known as the Qualla Boundary, is a sovereign nation, and it has its own elections, laws, governments, institutions that are self-governing and autonomous. It lies primarily in the western North Carolina mountain counties of Swain, Jackson, with smaller parts in Cherokee, Graham, and Haywood. The Great Smoky Mountain Cannabis Company, run by the Qualla Enterprises, LLC, opened for medical cannabis sales on April 20th, with customers traveling across the state with medical cannabis cards to make the purchase. The dispensary could not open for recreational sales due to the tribal council not yet passing the ordinance, despite numerous work sessions on the topic. The passage of the ordinance comes on the heels of a May 30th work session on the recreational ordinances. During that session, Koala Enterprises General Manager Forrest Parker said the goal after a positive vote on the amendments would be to establish recreational cannabis sales for tribal members within 30 to 45 days, and general public would see a sale opening within 60 to 75-day range. The timeline set for the opening of North Carolina's first recreational cannabis market is for August. For the Great Smoky Mountain Cannabis Company, the only regulatory change would be that the business would need a license from the tribal government to sell recreational cannabis, Parker said. Otherwise, the regulations on the sale under the current medical cannabis program would remain largely the same. Major changes would be hiring staff required to run the estimated 80,000 pound regional adult use market that will be operating out of a single dispensary. This is 80,000 pounds a month they think that they can sell. Parker said, he noted that the market currently only has funding for around half the estimated regional market. While Enterprise Human Resource Director Lee Griffin has previously stated that estimating staffing would be running around 350 under the recreational cannabis market during the February 20th work session at the ordinances. Now, this is an interesting thing. We were talking about hemp-derived cannabinoids in Florida. So let's take a look at what these people say. Amendments restrict hemp shops, home grows, and home grow practices. Council members introduced an optional amendment to the ordinance that would restrict hemp products from being sold at any other locations beside the ECBI-owned entities. The move would set up a Great Smoky Mountain Cannabis Company as the only hemp store on the Koala boundary. Stamper justified the amendment by stating an increased number of smoke shops would be an eyesore in the community and would rather have one big shop rather than 9 vape shops. He also mentioned that he was worried about the proliferation of hemp products sold to local schools. The optional amendment was accepted onto the ordinance by the tribal council, and another amendment regarding the practices of growing cannabis plants to those who possess medical cards was introduced. The amendment will allow 4 plants at one time. The amendment was also accepted by the tribal council. So it looks like they've actually got something here that's going to work. Under this bill that they've passed, they're going to be able to sell recreational cannabis to everyone. And of course, North Carolina politicians are not happy about this. One politician had passed or attempted to get a bill in that would penalize any tribal nations that legalize cannabis. It would penalize by taking federal money away. That did fail. But you can see that people will do anything to stop people from making progress. But I love the fact that now, even though it's only one dispensary, North Carolina will have access.
Yeah, that's
So-
great news, actually, especially in a state that has no medical or recreational program right now.
No, and
Like,
these-
it's
these,
like the only one or something, you know. Most of
No,
them
there's
have
others.
medical, at least, right?
No,
Yeah.
there are a few that don't have either still. But this is one of them. But this is a very conservative state, largely Republican run, which is typically most Republicans are against legalization. And I think this is, I'm waiting for the other Native American tribes in areas that are on their own tribal lands to do similar things in other illegal states that refuse to do anything. But I really like the fact that he took the hemp-derived cannabinoids and they're going to treat them just like regular cannabinoids now. If you want them, you got to come here to get them. And that's how they're going to. They'll be regulated, they'll be controlled, and they'll only go to the people who are supposed to have them. So I love that. You know, not going to be able to go to the truck stop to get them anymore. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Step in the right direction, and it might, like you say, the politicians are pissed off, so maybe they will start moving their laws forward faster to try and get things fixed faster, so they're not losing out on revenue. Then, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do expect this to happen. I'm actually surprised it took this long to happen because down in the South, especially in areas where gambling wasn't illegal, some of the first things you saw were these Native American tribes would go and start casino gambling on tribal lands, and state and federal governments couldn't touch them because it was their laws. They can do it their way. It's kind of the thing that happens on Native American lands. But because of that, most of the states down here now have state-sponsored gambling, because they didn't want you to go and give the money just to the other people. They wanted it in their coffers. So slowly but surely, I think you're right, Billy, that this is going to force the state to get into the business one way or another.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see the changes quicker, though, as well. Because, like I said, what they want to do within 90 days, sort of passing the laws as well, not like
Yeah.
wait a year.
No, they're already gearing up to grow more, so they can sell more. So just imagine the
good.
money that this Native American tribe is going to end up reaping the profits, while the people in South Carolina are going to suffer because, well, their revenue is going to be going to the tribal lands now. But more power to the tribal people for being a little bit progressive here.
Yeah, saying like, fuck you, we got to do what we want. We can make a lot of money and give people a service which they want and deserve. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
Good on 'em.
going to make a statement that I have no backing on, but, in general, people kind of associate native populations with being a little bit more in touch with the land and the medicines and things like this. So that going back to a natural medicine like this and allowing people to use natural medicine falls beautifully within Native American teachings. Use the land, worship the land, take care of the land, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, the money, when they make a lot of money, everyone else is like pointing and thinking, shit, we need to like jump in on that. We don't like them making all the money. You make them all jealous.
The prejudice in the United States will kick in real fast. It's like, well, we can't let them make all the money. We need to have some of that. So yeah, that's usually, it's crazy. That happens. We'll see. Hoping that this helps a lot of people in North Carolina now have some access to whatever they need.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff,
And
man.
meanwhile, in the UK.
Oh no!
Oh, here we go. Here we go. More UK shit.
It's back to you there, Billy. You got some this poor
fuck,
cannabis dealer being called names, was he?
Yeah, some judge apparently, like, he's going, cannabis dealer labelled an idiot, but he wasn't the only subject of a judge's anger. And you're like, what?
Wow,
That's a
I
bit
thought
crude,
judges are
innit?
not supposed to feel anger. I thought they were supposed to be impartial.
Of course, judges are impartial.
Excuse me for laughing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a judge not be impartial?
Let's not get into that.
I'm going to mute myself right now. So
yeah, I'm muting too. It's just you, Billy. Bye.
Okay, then back to the story. A judge has warned an idiot cannabis dealer to stay out of trouble or bring a bag to the court next time he offends, as he was sending him straight to jail. What? So Judge blah blah told blah blah he needs to grow up before saying the fact that he was took to Nottinghamshire police more than 2 years ago and charged. What? It's like, come on, 2 years it's taken him to get into court already just for this. So.
Stupidness, isn't it?
Yeah. So Nottingham Crown Court heard how a large bag of Class B drug, cannabis, was found at an address in Basford, and messages on the defendant's phone made it clear that he'd been selling it for a profit. He's now walking on a 2-year tightrope or being risked sent to prison. Handing him a suspended sentence, the judge said, "What an idiot. People who think drugs, which you are still using, are the right way to cope with pressure are fooling themselves." So what a complete dickhead.
Yeah, well, that,
Fuck?
fuck
What
you,
the fuck
Judge.
does he know?
Fuck you.
Now, wait a minute. What right does the judge have to be calling him an idiot anyway?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Just not right.
It's meant to be impartial. What? Yeah, exactly. It's like, so how does he? It's like a judge being judgmental when he's not meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Right. Right. Those who think cannabis is just a jolly thing that can make you feel better are missing the point. If you go out on any street in any town and look at the people staggering around with mental health problems, mental health problems which you have made worse. It's pathetic.
Oh
What
my
the hell is he
God.
talking
Yeah,
about?
it's like, yeah, it's like,
Mental
what the
cannabis?
fuck?
Yeah, again with the psychosis crap, huh?
Yeah, again, all these people staggering around with mental health problems. It's like,
Wow, this next sentence is
fucking,
shocking at a
so-
time
yeah,
where we're supposed to try to, understand people who have mental health issues. This sentence right here, sorry to hijack this from you, buddy, but this is savage. People who say, I can't cope with life, really need to get a grip because we all face our problems every single day. Says the fucking judge, who's probably over, 100 grand, 120 grand a year. I don't even know how much money a judge makes, but you know it's going to be a lot of fucking money. This cheeky motherfucker saying shit like that. That's terrible. That's terrible.
ignorant
Man.
and cunt
I
is
mean,
the
Yeah,
phrase
this
I
guy
would
needs to be
use.
fucking fired. That's disgusting.
well, I mean, he needs to understand that mental health is health. I mean, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Anyway, Billy,
Boy.
sorry, you want to go back to that?
Yeah,
You freaking out?
he goes on to say the problems you face are absolutely nothing compared to the problems other people face. People who have to cope with being mentally ill, people who don't have a job, people who don't have a support structure at all, people who can't even begin to imagine what happiness is. It's like, well, that's why a lot of people are using fucking cannabis, mate. They don't have a support structure. It helps and cope
Yeah.
with their mental health. Like, it's like, it's saying the complete opposite. It's like, grow up is what you need to do. Grow up. When you are
No.
being more sensitive, sensible, you are a caring person. You care for children, not yours, and you care for friends. And that shows a completely different side to you. You have the advantage. Now I've taken this far too long and to get you out of court yet again. So, like you're saying, basically, the offence is in 2021. It took until November 23 for you to be possibly requestioned. Is that?
I think that's
Or
a
charged.
postally requisitioned, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Postally requisitioned. Thank you for pointing that out, Mackie. Cheers.
Oh, that was
Charged by
really that
post.
was like really good reading. That was that
Yeah.
requisitioned. Wow, fuck. I can read good sometimes. Did you see that? Did you see that, everybody?
See,
Thank
some
you.
professionalism. There you go.
Thank
Some
you. Yes.
professionalism.
All them vocal warm-up exercises was worth it today. Yeah. Sorry,
We
mate.
won't ask you how you're stretching your throat there, though. If not a crime itself, then frankly, I do know what is. But like the advantage has given you that it's since then you have stayed out of trouble, and in those circumstances, so you ain't been arrested for fucking smoking weed, you mean, or something like. Whilst you did not cross the custodial threshold, this time you are not going to prison. But if you are stupid enough to cross my path again, bring a bag because it's the only place you go. And it's like, what the fuck, man? It's
Wow.
like judges like this seem to have a big issue with cannabis, didn't they? It's like you're some evil, nasty person. It's like crazy fuck, like. But yet, like the story before, like you're allowed to have a grow bloody centre in Swindon and sell weed to everyone, though. You got the money, but
Yeah.
he can't.
Yeah,
Like
this
say,
is what's
yeah.
shocking, isn't it? So this guy can't, but
No.
they're selling cannabis legally now. And are you going to go say the same thing to those? Are you, Judge? You know,
Yeah.
is it different
Yeah.
because they fucking paid the necessary fee to the necessary
yeah.
person? Fuck.
Are the ones with mental health on the street got cannabis prescriptions? Like, so
Like they
yeah,
give a fuck. Like they
Yeah,
give a
exactly.
fucking
Of course
shit in
they
the
don't.
first place.
Don't give
Lying
a fuck at
bastards.
all.
You fucking care about people's mental health, do you? You fucking lying bastards. Get a grip.
And
Virtue
why-
signaling piece of shit. Fucking.
Why isn't medical
Sorry.
cannabis from the state? You know, the legally prescribed cannabis, is that causing the same mental health damage? I don't get this crap,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Basically, they go on to say that they searched multiple addresses under the warrants, found evidence on his phone that he was selling the weed, which he had a big bag of. So it's sort of like, I think he said, "Well, yeah, I was doing it because like he got caught sort of doing it." But it took him 2 years. Judge called him fucking an idiot and blaming him for all the mental health on the fucking street. It's like, yeah, fucking dickhead. So
Yeah.
again, the UK being more judgmental and completely corrupt as fuck. So, yeah, no corruption here. Move along.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
to
just
see.
sorry, Monkey, you're saying.
So nothing to see. Move along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuckery. Sick of it. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. The double standards is just, and the hypocrisy is just right there in front of our faces now.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. We can't grow a few fucking plants for personal use, man. These motherfuckers do what the fuck they like. This guy can't sell a little bit, trying to hustle up some money to feed his daughter, from the biggie tune, from the biggie
Maybe
tune.
just because he can't afford to pay the stupid prices people have to pay as well. So it's like, well, you either have to grow it to fund yourself, or it's like
just trying to get by, just trying to make a profit, right? Like like the pharmaceutical industries that are selling cannabis in the UK.
But he obviously wasn't
Fuck
making much
it.
profit, and really, because they not like it said saying, oh, we took loads of fucking a big string list of fucking 50-inch TVs, a Ferrari, and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
It's just some dude with a bag of weed who's
That's right.
probably So
And you
it's
know what
just
you can
some
do? You have
stupidness.
to, the way this guy could have avoided getting into this position in the first place is, don't sell, everybody.
Yeah. Follow the
Yeah.
three rules. That's it. Man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it has to be.
Keep it quiet.
But anyway, fucking double standards here in the UK are fucking shocking. We got this last one which we're gonna get to here. This guy, weird looking guy, man. I don't know. Take a look at this weird looking motherfucker. Right? Yeah, you won't be able to see if you're on the download.
That's the mirror,
here's
Mackie.
the title. Oh no!
Where's your
You
mushroom
took
hat?
the mask. You took the mask off.
That's it. The mushroom
Anyway.
hat and the mask are missing. That's it.
Gosh, you're also unprofessional. I'm trying to present a news story here in a professional manner. Gosh.
Oh.
Let me concentrate for a second. If I already have enough of these guys' beady eyes looking at me, sorry. Cannabis grower told to pay back left assets, and I don't know what that title means. It's like pay back assets he left behind. I don't even know what the fuck that means. So we're gonna venture more into the article just to try and make sense of what the title says. So this is the guy, beady-eyed guy, right? And this is a ridiculous amount of money, right? A large-scale cannabis grower has been told to pay back the assets he has left, worth £384,120, or face another 3 years behind bars. Joseph McNamara, who posed as a $100,000 a year aircraft engineer, made more than $2.5 million from his illegal trade. He was jailed for 4 years and 4 months in March 2023 at Exeter Crown Court. On Thursday, McNamara, 51, of Sanford, who was convicted of producing cannabis and converting criminal property, reappeared in court to face a Proceeds of Crime Act confiscation hearing. So this is essentially because he was involved in drugs. They get to take all his stuff and be like, "Oh, you got that from selling weed, so we're taking it. Oh, that's a nice Lambo. You got that from, and they'll go and auction it off." Allegedly.
Yeah, my wife needs a new Range Rover. We take that.
Allegedly. Professional cannabis farm. Judge David Evans was told McNamara had benefited by $2,584,281 Great British pounds sterling from his crimes. He had assets worth $384,120, which included a piece of land to be sold. Police also seized 3 cars, a van, and a trial bike worth £115,000, which were to be auctioned off. The judge says the $384,000 must be paid in 3 months, or McNamara will face another 3 years behind bars in default. When police raided the compound in 2020, they found a professional cannabis farm which had been running for 3 years and was capable of producing 8 to 13 crops a year. Damn.
That's all right, though.
Pretty
3
big
months to pay off the 300,000. He could just grow another crop, innit?
This doesn't really explain though, like why he's paying it back. If they're saying he has assets, why don't they sell the assets and take that as proceeds of crime? Like I don't really get this whole.
It doesn't seem fair at all, right? He's already been
They
given
do
a prison
both,
sentence,
Marge,
and
they
now
do
it's like,
both.
you have to pay
Right.
us more now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do more time in prison. It's like I
Then
thought
they
this guy's
steal
already been
it,
to court.
sell it for an amount, and say, yeah, it's worth that amount, and then take
Right.
that amount off you as well, so they get double the amount. You see, it's like win-win for them. It's like a big tax bonus.
It's ridiculous.
Proceeds of
Pay
Crime
back
Act is
the
one of the
asset. Doesn't make
dodgiest things in UK's
Yeah,
fucking justice system.
ridiculous,
Bullshit.
man. This guy made it, man. He made a shitload of money, man. 2.5 million. You know, how many plants do you think he was
13
growing?
crops a year.
He just needed to get a friend who was a politician, and then everything he would have been doing, you know, because this guy obviously had the money, but what he was missing was the politician friend. You know, if he had the politician friend that could get him the things he needs to make this a legal business, he wouldn't be locked up now, would he? Because there's people doing exactly what he was doing, but do have a politician friend and the money, who are now being put up in the newspapers like they're fucking heroes. Like, look at these guys selling nice, clean medical cannabis to all of these vulnerable people. Like, fucking Jesus.
Yeah, with a nice big thick brown envelope sticking out their pocket.
Mhm. And, you know, I don't know. This guy might have been a right dodgy bastard doing all sorts of fucking shit, you know? I don't know. But he might have just been a guy making money from growing cannabis, like companies now in the UK are allowed to do so. Why couldn't this
But
guy?
they love to mention, like, if there's any guns or like weapons or any violence, and there's nothing like that. They couldn't even say there was like a pen knife there or something, like
Yeah.
a flick knife. And they like to bring out shit like that. So
Ridiculous.
it's just wank. They're just jealous he made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And they do it on small scales as well, you know, like you just finding a normal home grower, if they kick your door off, take your shit, then they can do you for the Proceeds of Crime Act and take stuff from you. God damn, man. For fucking weed, you know?
If you get done for commercial sale, then like, yeah, they can think, yeah, we got to take the shit off you.
Well, can I pick on their technical a little bit here? I
Yeah.
don't understand something in the last part of the article. Capable of producing 8 to 13 crops a year. That the numbers just don't, I don't know. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, that's it don't fit, does it? You can do 5,
No.
6 maximum, right? Right, you're gonna really fucking push it for that.
The way I'm doing it is like, okay, you can do, most people can do 3 or 4 a year, depending on like how you're pushing it, right? So 8, we can have, yeah, we could do it 2 rooms, 4 crops a year. You got 8, but I don't know how you get 13. It's not divisible by anything. So I don't know. Somebody didn't know what the hell they were doing. I think they just threw some numbers in there.
Maybe multiple venues. Yeah,
That's probably what it is. Yeah, because
I
you know,
think
each
that
you could
they
get.
just threw them in there just for shock value. It's like, hey, we just
that as well.
put some numbers up in here, you know. Those numbers don't mean anything. I hate it when they do that kind of stuff like that. It makes themselves look ignorant.
And you
they
know,
call a hydro setup a sophisticated setup. Like,
well,
to make
we've
it
seen a
sound
lot
better,
recently as well, where we've seen fucking, you know, modern day slavery in these cannabis farms. There's no mention about that. You know what I mean?
No.
And they'd mention if it was happening. So maybe this guy was just running a legitimate, not legitimate, because, you know, the government said he's not allowed to. That's only for their friend to do. He's not allowed to. But, you know, maybe it was all above board other than the fact that the government said no.
Yeah,
Right.
it seems that way, doesn't it? It was all above board, apart from we didn't pay the right politician the right amount of money.
They didn't say anything about him stealing electricity.
No, it didn't. No.
As I said, there's nothing in there that mentions any sort of dodginess, and they'd love to jump on that straight away. That he was a naughty boy.
You know, they would tell us about that because they would like to embellish all of the facts. But at this point, it's just saying that this guy was growing some fucking weed, man. And as we've seen in previous article, that's happening in the UK now. There's companies growing weed in the UK and selling it legally to people all over the country as medicine.
And making a good living doing it.
Yeah. Why are they allowed to do it, but this guy isn't?
If I was a judge, I'd give community service and to make them grow more weed for the community.
And call him an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Fuckery. But yes, I just thought I'd bring this onto everybody's attention because I don't know. It's just the double standards, man. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying this guy was
hypocrisy,
doing anything right.
UK.
You know, he's not doing anything wrong. I don't even know. You know, you don't know all the facts and shit, but locked up for 4 years. That's a lot of money, though, as well. You know, it's like 500k a year is good wage.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
Did this guy keep books or something? How do they know that it was 2,584,000? You know exactly the dollar, the £1 amount.
He was an aircraft engineer, so maybe Boeing were trying to keep
No,
him
no, that
quiet.
was
Nah.
fake. That was fake story, isn't it? Opposite, yeah.
Yeah, it's fake
He was just being paid off by Bowen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And they're just posing as a fucking aircraft engineer. Like, what do you do, mate? He's like, yeah, I'm an aircraft engineer. It's like, yeah, what plane's that? It's like, I wonder if he did any research.
That's one with wings.
Oh, goddamn.
Said, oh, I don't know anything about aircraft. I only do the engines.
You know, he's sitting in the local pub and everybody knows him as the aircraft engineer. Guy sits down, he's like, yo, I'm an aircraft engineer too.
Mhm. What do you
and then
work on?
You know, and he's like,
Stuff.
you know, fan leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Anyway, yeah, so interesting story there. We should do that spin now while we're here,
We
right?
should do that
We-
spin. Yes, let's do that.
What we giving away this week, Monkey? What's your
Oh gosh, I don't really know. I haven't even looked at the stack this week. Let's go ahead. I've got some Gruber Hans growing, so let's go ahead and give 5 Gruber Hans out. Then this is a limited edition seed. Even Chad Westport hasn't even released Gruber Hans yet, so this is like the kind
Oh,
of an
wow.
advance out there. So I'll send you
Nice.
5 Gruber Hans to give them a try before they're even released to the general public.
Nice. All right, so we only have 12 names on the list this week. We have Morgasmo. I'll put it on the screen so you can see. We have Morgasmo, Curmudgeon, aka Grumpus, Plain Co, Billy Bonds, Toppotamus, Bang Switch, Hawk, Adam Bomb, Filmy Bowls, Improper Weed Viking, Check 451, and Laszlo. There we go.
Got
Let's
it.
spin it. Let's see what happens. Do they have to be here this
Oh.
week, Monkey? It's spinning.
Yeah, this is you got to claim it this week. Last
Okay,
week was
so-
a no claim. This is you got to claim.
Oh no, look at this shenanigans. Shenanigans. He isn't even here. He isn't even here this week.
He always is.
Wow.
Oh, he's never here.
Is he saying anything in the chat?
Is Billy Bonds?
Oh,
in
go on,
chat?
go on.
Is Billy
Get
Bonds
in.
anywhere in chat? Billy,
Get in.
Okay, that was a
get
bit
in
slow, Billy.
somewhere.
I better put my name in chat because you got to be in
Exactly.
chat.
You
That's
gotta
Fucking
right.
here.
Put your
I
name in
am
chat.
fucking here.
And I will
Oh,
promise
quick,
you,
quick.
this has not been rigged one way.
Look at
at
that.
all.
Look at
See,
that.
I'll
We
put a
have
magnet
zero
behind the
control.
board, but don't tell everyone.
You jammy bastard. Jammy bastard.
Get in.
Yeah,
See,
he's
it's
there.
my lucky colour as well. I was green, that's why. It's my
Look
lucky
at that.
colour.
Look at that. It
Right.
all ended
Fucking
up
have
nice
that.
in the end.
Live.
Yeah, man. I'll get those into the post study tomorrow. No problem at all.
Cool. I want some Gruber rounds.
Either that or Mackie can send them to you because
Yeah, I've got them here, I
Got
think,
them right
right?
there.
Yeah.
there. You should
Mm.
have
Yeah,
them.
Mackie should send them in.
Yeah, because
a
you'll
little
get
bit
them. You'll
cheaper.
get them in a couple days. That way, versus a couple weeks from me.
Just a couple of weeks. How many weeks? What you say? A couple of weeks. What do you say like that for?
I know how to say. I've not used a two in a long time. I use a couple or a few. You know.
Yeah.
14 days.
You got to
that
try and
kind of stuff,
avoid it now, you know.
you know?
But I think that's it for this week. Then that's all the news. Any forum news to cover before we move on? There was something. Well, what's on the notes there? Damn, I've
The
forgotten
election.
completely. That's right. We have a couple of elections. Billy is into politics. You see. Don't know if you know about that, everybody. So, and we have an election coming up in the UK on July the 4th. So the week before that, on the Thursday, you want to tell people about it, Billy? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, because we have a UK election coming up, we're going to have a couple of shows. We're going to have one like the week before, just to discuss all like some of the policies and stuff, but mostly like the cannabis stuff and various other shit and the parties which represent us, just to give people an idea of what's happening with the UK, and then hopefully do a live special to have some of the craziness going on election night, because it is quite funny to watch it all and to get a perspective. And we have a couple of special guests, don't we, Mackie?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, Simpat will be joining us, hopefully, and so will Connor McLeod as well. You know, all guys from the UK, you know, so and we can all get people's different opinions on their political stance if they want to share that. But it'll be interesting.
And Scottish point of view because they'll be
Mhm.
voting very differently, I assume, this year with the SNP
Yeah.
getting in a lot of
Well,
trouble.
based
like
at different areas in the country as well, so we get to see people's
yeah,
opinions
so
from up north, in the Midlands, down south.
yeah,
You know, it's going to be very interesting, man. So
mm,
if you're into politics and you want to know what the parties are standing for, what's in their manifesto, then make sure you join us. What we're doing one before the actual election. So what's that date? Is that like the 27th? Is it? I've forgotten.
yeah, the week before, so it's the
Yeah, the
Thursday
Thursday.
before the
Yeah,
election before. So that is the 27th, yeah, and the
yeah.
4th.
Right, 27th and the 4th.
Independence Day, obviously, is the day. So maybe that can be a dual Independence Day celebration and
Yeah,
because well, yeah,
yeah.
crazy.
Cool,
We
man.
need our
So
own independence from our own bloody government. I think in the UK we
I
should
think
have
the
our own
whole world's
Independence
cracking.
Day.
The whole world's cracking.
Yeah.
But that's everything. I think any forum news to add on your side, Monkey? You got anything to add there?
Yeah, I got one thing that we haven't even started talking about yet over at the site, but we finally got it together. We're going to have a pheno hunt grow off going on over at Percy's.
Oh, cool.
John Carlson has sent us some regular seeds. It's a blue, I believe it's a Blue Dream Super Lemon Haze cross that he would like to furnish to our Percy's members so they can do a pheno hunt where you will pop all
Ooh.
10 seeds, find your best one, grow it out, and submit it for an entry and see which ones can find the best pheno in all of these hunts. So stay tuned. This going to try and get this launched sometime this week.
Blue
at
lemon.
Percy's. Was that say again?
A blue lemon.
Pretty much blue lemons.
Yeah. Oh.
So we don't
Beautiful.
know anything about them. These have not been run yet. So this is going to be like I said, this if you're you want to try something new with no idea, stay tuned.
Nice. Any news on your side, Marge? You got anything going on?
I'm setting up a lot of interviews right now, but nothing
Nice.
yet to be released. But you can always listen to all my fabulous current catalog over at Bite Me Podcast.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if anybody plays Call of Duty Zombies, Call of Duty Zombies 2 and 3, you can join us if you play it on Steam. If you got Steam, if you play Steam on your PC, want to come and kill some zombies with Mackie and Billy sometime, do that. I don't know, what else are we supposed to promote? Oh yeah, we've got the forum. We should promote the forum. But yeah, PercysGrowroom.com. Yeah, do that too. Yeah.
Nice work.
Yes.
please,
That's right.
please remember to promote the forum. If you want to find us, that's where we are
Yeah.
all the
So
time.
if you want to find us, we're on
over there.
PercysGrowroom.com. But if you have Steam and you play Call of Duty Zombies on Black Ops 2 and 3, also come and join me and Billy for a game of zombies sometime. That would be cool. Yeah. So that's it. We go to the outro.
Let's do
Yes.
that.
Fucking stoners. God damn, I'm crazy high. Let's do it. So there we go, everybody. That's the news for this week. And don't forget, just like every other week, if you see cool news articles that you want us to cover on next week's show, then send it then to us over on the Discord server over on PercysGrowroom.com. You can email highonhomegrown@gmail.com or yeah, we said the Discord server. I mean, comment on the video. There's so many different ways to get in touch with us. Just whichever way you think is easiest. Go ahead, get in touch and send us some news articles for us to cover on next week's show. Well, as usual, thank you for joining us, everybody. It's been a pleasure. You know, I hope you're all good and high. I hope the news articles wasn't too enraging in places. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
of course, to everybody on the panel for coming to join us and getting high with us today.
Always fun.
Yes. Mike, do you want to tell
Yeah, man.
everybody where they can go and find stuff about you?
Yeah, bitemepodcast.com on the web or on Instagram, because that's where I'm most active. And on your favorite podcast platform. New episodes every Thursday.
Yes, but not Google Podcasts, because Google Podcasts is shutting down soon. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody
Wow.
listens there anyway.
Yeah, no, we get a very small amount. I mean,
Yeah.
of percentage compared to what we usually get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, all platforms are good. You know, the more places, the better.
Right.
What do you say, Monkey? Is there anywhere people can go and see stuff about you, your Instagram and stuff?
Well, as always, you find me over at PercysGrowroom.com. Come over there, say hi. Mackie and I are always there. We will tell you hi back. Not a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, Instagram under monkeydo_grows on Instagram or Percy's Grow Room on Instagram. You can find me there.
Nice. And then we have Billy, the 3 Socks Bonds. What are you saying, bro? where can people find you?
I hang out on the
On the
Discord
corner.
mostly. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, mostly on Discord, just hanging out, chatting shit, posting
Yeah,
stupid memes and chatting.
What the fuck did you
politics
just call it?
and conspiracy theories.
Memes, bro.
Memes. Yeah, memes. I call
just
them
memes. No, it's just memes. Meme.
Yeah, yeah. I'm weird like that.
It almost sounded Australian or something like that.
Oh my goodness, memes, everybody. That's what we're gonna call it from now on. That's what they should be
Memes. Yeah, they're
May I
French.
say you?
called. Yeah, I shared this meme.
Meme
Beautiful.
with a bit of love, you see.
All right, good show then, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Share if you can, but it's no pressure because we know that not everybody is living in a legal state where you can share content like this. But if you do, then yeah, please share and tell your friends about High on Homegrown. That's about it. I think that's all of it. Is everybody ready? Anything to add?
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
man.
Yeah, man. Light up your joints
That's
and
it,
smoke
yeah.
away.
Light up the joints. Have a good week. Stay high. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
See you later.
Don't forget to wave.
Doing it now.
Billy, put your socks on. Ah.
Bye.